The going away party in Oakland, just finished watching it. Jags win 20-16. I'm shocked. Raiders fans are shocked. I think everyone's a little shocked right now. But let's get into it. My first takeaway, the Jaguars defense. This was a classic example tonight of bending but not breaking. And in the first half, Darren Waller absolutely went off. It looked like it was going to be more of the same that we've seen from the Jaguars defense lately. Josh Jacobs had a little momentum going into the first half as well, but whatever adjustments were made, whether that was putting Boye more on Waller or whoever it was, the Jaguars shut down the Raiders in the second half, holding them to 0 points. And it's okay. It's okay if you give up some stuff, especially to Waller, the tight end. Obviously you're playing with some linebackers right now who don't have a lot of playing experience. Your secondary might be a little banged up as well, but overall I thought the defense played, all things considered, really well. And props to the defensive line as well. Josh Jacobs is in line to become the to become the NFL Rookie of the Year. And I thought the Jaguars did a great job on him in the run and in the pass game as well. It wasn't perfect, but it didn't have to be because, once again, the most important part is they weren't surrendering the big scores. They surrendered a chunk here, a chunk there, but overall, I thought the defense played pretty well, and the defensive line needs to get props as well. Yannick Ngakoue, Tom Coughlin comes out a couple weeks ago in the press conference and says that Yannick Ngakoue's got to show more. Well, he showed you 2 sacks today, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe he has 8 sacks now on the season, well in line to get a total of at least 10 sacks, for the whole season, which is right where you want to be if you're a pass rusher. You want to hit the double digits. So I thought it was a good look from Yannick Ngakoue today, and even playing the run as well. Josh Allen had a good day, and I thought Calais Campbell made some plays in the backfield as well. So overall, defensive line played good. The defensive unit in general played pretty good, all things considered, of who they have going for them right now. My second takeaway, this falls more in coaching, but it falls kind of on what Adam Schefter reported this morning before the first slate of games, and that's the fact that there's rumors speculating that Doug Marrone won't be in Jacksonville next year, and there's also rumors, according to some sources, that are saying that Tom Coughlin may end up resigning at the end of the season to spend time with his family. Number one, with Tom Coughlin, I hope everything is good with his family. I get it. I'm pretty critical about him in football, but obviously when it comes to family, I hope everything's okay on that end. So if it's not, sending him well wishes. But on the football aspect of things, Adam Schefter, you're not reporting anything new. If you watched any Jaguars games the past 6 weeks now, you understand that this front office and this coaching staff will more than likely be gone. And I think if you're Shad Khan, and I think anybody would agree with me right now, if you're Shad Khan, you got to go ahead and just clean sweep, and you have to start over because the people that you put in line to make the football decisions this year just haven't made them. It hasn't been a good look from the roster, I feel like, because injuries aren't really, I get it, Miles Jack's out now, but injuries for the most part aren't an excuse. I think if you look at the talent overall, it's lacking in some areas. And I think performance is also lacking in some areas. So from my perspective, Adam Schefter, no kidding. Yes, there's going to be people getting canned. And if it's me, I'm going to do a clean sweep. So we'll see how that plays out. At this point, though, you won't expect anything until the end of the season. They're not going to do it during the season now. If they didn't do it in the past 5 weeks when the Jaguars are really struggling, they're not going to do it after a win in Oakland. So what you have is what you get right now, and they're going to ride with that. For Atlanta and also against Indianapolis at home for the last game of the season. My third takeaway, and this should be everybody's takeaway, is the quarterback situation. This always seems to be the big topic, and it's Gardner Minshew. First half, the Jaguars' offense in general, there was drop balls. Minshew may have missed some throws. It wasn't a good look, and it did the defense 0 favors. But at the end of the day, say what you want, but Gardner Minshew, and it may not have been the prettiest drive, but Gardner Minshew led the Jacksonville Jaguars in a hostile environment. The last time playing in Oakland, led him to a touchdown to win the game. And that's the most important part of to me. And the new regime that comes in, whoever it's going to be, I said this on the show before, when they watch film, they're going to watch the last 3 games first. because they want to see how a team finishes. And then you can kind of gauge of how much a player loves football when things aren't even going well, when you're not winning games. Does the team still play like a cohesive unit? And with this new regime coming in, whoever it is, they're going to see Gardner Minshew today lead the Jacksonville Jaguars to a game-winning touchdown. A rookie, nonetheless, a 6th-round pick, nonetheless. And did he look great? I think he looked okay. He was not perfect by any means, but I don't think he has to be at this point. Once again, the guy's a rookie. You have to give him some time. We have all these first-round picks right now in the NFL, whether it's Dwayne Haskins, whether it's Daniel Jones, whether it's Kyler Murray, even if it's Drew Lock today. They're going to give them time to develop, and they're going to see what they have. The last thing I'm kind of sick and tired of hearing it is, well, Minshew's not the guy. Minshew's not the guy. Because he played a couple bad games. But guess what? Rookies play bad games. And if you're the new regime coming in, you have to ask yourselves, do you go in the draft because you have capital? So do you sacrifice that capital and go after someone that you extremely like? And extremely like, I would mean like a Joe Burrows, maybe a Justin Herbert, perhaps a Tua. I think even Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's going to be, he might be like a late first-round guy, early second-round guy. We'll see how it plans out. There's plenty of time left till the draft. There's still some college football left to play. But from that perspective, unless you absolutely fall in love with somebody, and to me, the only guy you would fall in love with is Joe Burrows. I think Justin Herbert has some flaws, but we'll get into that more in the future. But like as being a polished quarterback, an NFL-ready quarterback, maybe Joe Burrows, but that's even a risk to me. And the last thing, in my opinion, you want to do is spend all your capital on a quarterback, a rookie quarterback, and then surround him with absolutely nothing, because this isn't just a situation coming here and out of Jacksonville where you can just kind of poke and prod here, poke and prod there, and you just kind of build. No, this is going to be a tear-down operation, an absolute rebuild, and that's just the way it is. And those generally, if we're looking at history, it takes time to build that. So from that perspective, to expect a GM or a coaching staff, whoever comes in here, part of the new regime, to come in here and have success right away, that's not realistic. They're going to have to tear everything down and build it back up again. And if you got to tear everything down and build it back up, I say you start in the trenches. I say you start with defensive line and offensive line and work out from there. I think you have something special in Gardner Minshew. I've been very adamant about this since I saw him start his very first game. And I was even adamant about that they shouldn't have went back to Foles. They should have kept Minshew in. So I think from this perspective, from this game, you roll with Minshew for obviously the rest of the season, but I think you roll with him next season as well. And if it doesn't work out, well, at least you build pieces around him, so then during next year, after that season, then you go after the draft and you go after a free agent. But right now, I think you have a lot more pressing needs than the quarterback position. And I understand the quarterback position is the most important part of football. But if you bring a quarterback in and if you spend a lot of draft capital on a quarterback to come save your franchise, you better make sure that you got the stuff around him for him to be successful and gain his confidence. And right now, if you look at this roster and this roster going into next season, you don't have a lot to be successful with. So those are my three takeaways. Listen in tomorrow on ESPN 690. We'll break down the game. We'll break down what the Jaguars have to do going forward now. And what else does Minshew have to do to try to win over this new regime? Oh, and also pay Yannick Ngakoue. Duh. You guys have a good night.